I try to remember a time when my father taught me to wash my hands. I can imagine my tiny hands in his, being guided by his word, whilst I was reveling in what I thought was a new game. I was blissfully ignorant to the stains of my sins that I had accumulated whilst playing in the dirt. We scrubbed and scrubbed, watching the stains being cycloned down the drain. You were my first example of Jesus, humbly serving your family, friends, and colleagues, living a life I wanted to model, sacrificing your time, energy, and desires in order to be the loving father you never had. Yet, I am still stubborn to reciprocate the love displayed, hurt by the mistakes you've made, and when you left for work, I felt afraid, broken and confused, as you pretended you were still present in my current reality. My hands, now calloused by pain, spent the last few years wrestling with you about my future, you throwing me into difficult positions, having me tossing and turning like a leaf in the wind, unsure about my identity and purpose, whilst I've been bowling you over like the whispering death of the 70s, holding onto my desire to not sacrifice my dreams anymore. Much like Pilate, I washed my hands of you, not realizing the water through the word was not applied. The soap of my pride, anger, and brokenness was like sandpaper, causing friction between us. Much like Pilate, I thought that washing my hands of you meant I wouldn't be responsible for your crucifixion, not knowing the pain you felt being rejected by your own creation. But like you, Paul, I too was met on the road to persecution, met by Jesus, the man who felt every pain inflicted, every bruise caused, every tear cried, the man who showed me the dirt I was covered in, the man who washed my stains with his word. This same man fathered me and called me his own, loved my mother and gave her strength, the same strength I wish to inherit even just a half of. But I pray that I am also blessed with even a small portion of your weakness, for it is in our weakness that Jesus' power is made perfect. So, on this day, may we both learn to become men who love, men who cry, men who hurt, make mistakes and laugh, but most importantly, men who are reliant on Jesus. Welcome everybody, Omar J here, and thank you for watching that video. That was my heart towards my father. Over the past few years, we've had some difficulties, but we're working through it. And I only thought it right to share what's it been like for me on Father's Day, which is today. So if you liked that video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can let me know in the comments. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like about the video. Whatever, just say it in the comments down below. Zine. Yeah, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell somewhere around here. I have more content coming out, so stay tuned. Bless up, peace. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. To my own personal dad, big up yourself. Zine. Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed already, if you haven't already, wait until this video pass. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. Dad, I am really nervous when people pass, so I'm just gonna wait until Carrick pass. You see me. Yeah, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing still.